Yeah, so what is the kind of cookies? We know that there's going to be butter in them. Butter and sugar, and that would be a very boring cookie. And it's definitely going to have two kinds of sugar. So I may as well just throw those in. So what is this topic today? I know exactly what it is because I have plenty to say about this. It isn't really often that you have one of those days where you actually don't have anything to say when you're in school and stuff. But this one is the kind of situation. I haven't written it yet, but I have a basic outline, I guess you could say. And these are, when you're trying to have a kid, or when you have one, pretty easy once you have it, then you have to think about what are you going to do with it. The child, that is. And then, there's like a million guides. So, about like gender and all that. So, everybody kind of has their opinion, but let's see if you can figure it out and I mean, what is this guy even all about, right? If you're going to be a father, so there's different parts of it. So what would this be? Oh, right. So you have a child, and it's basically going to grow up, and you know that. And what else about it? I don't know. There's some. The truth is that it's going to happen, and you want it to be a good, happy kid, and you want him or her to be have good character as well. So you have to play games with it, do homework and all that, and they really recommend having conversations with the child. I know that oftentimes. Anyway, so the point is that there are some basic ideas that you can do with a child, and a mother and a father do quite different kinds of games. A father will play. The mother actually is the first educator of the child, and she teaches him or her about communicating, trust building, all that. Wow, these are some. Okay. What kind of cookies am I gonna make? I still don't. I know. Okay, this is one for the kids, right? So what does the kid want? When it's basically completely dependent on the parents. Him or her is. Wow, that one had double yolks. So these are stock pictures. I found this cool new. The kids here were designing posters and stuff, and they told me about this program, and default thingy-ma-do was like parenting, and so I'm like, wow, that's cool. I'm writing a paper on parenting. That'd be easy to do a presentation. Yeah, so I guess these kids are just laying there, waiting for. So, right, there's stages of development that are very certain, that not only are biological stages, nobody can argue with that. The brain doesn't develop for a while. Oh, right, yeah, I wrote that. And there are certain parts of the body that, when they get developed, then it affects psychology also, and until they're food independent, they're, and then there's different parts that, like, girls will only talk to their mothers about certain stuff. I mean, a girl is basically like a big mess of contradictions, they call it. So yeah, a girl is constantly, she has the what is called during the stages of development the inner space, and then there's this really cool experiment. I'm not going to go into that one, but basically, guys and girls, guys are more about, not guys, like, I mean children, young kids. There are feminine and masculine traits. I guess that would be civics. So femininity. What is this? Okay, so she. I wish I kind of had like an electric thing, or like a, not electric thing, like a. Don't you wish you could just walk away from it? But you cannot. There are things that a psychologist talks about that they really would rather not talk about. Okay, we're gonna do this just because I was thinking about this and I'm like, you know what, today's the day. Yeah, these are marshmallows. And I was thinking, like, what is, kids, look at this. What a great mom. Okay. The point is that you have to always care for your child. If you're a guy or a girl, male or female, is much more better at caring because I don't know why. That's just what girls do. It has to do with the kind of play they give the kid. It also has to do with what else? I don't know. Are you really gonna put marshmallows in these? I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna be fluffy enough. So there are these basic, you know, every culture is different. Different cultures matter. I mean, those were really popular last time. I'm thinking about these dried cherries. Dried cherries and marshmallows? That sounds awful. I can't think of anything worse. You could just do classic. Do I even have chocolate chips? Probably don't. So that's what it comes. There's chocolate chips. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing the cherry marshmallow garbage. Okay. Yeah, you know what? It's on the counter. Let's just do this. Do this thing. Also, you need white chocolate chips. So, a child, like a girl, when she organizes her house and everything, she always organizes it like, oh, I'm in a little house, and oh no, now there's chocolate chips, and not white chocolate chips, and it's like, oh ha ha ha. And then guys will organize like some weird machine thing, so whereas a girl would be more, what do you call it? Like sensitive or something? Caring. So then the biology comes into it, and you're like, okay, so yeah, I get it. Girls can have kids. Girls, or female, is capable of, I don't know. I think that the main reason that the inner spaces, it contradicts with this psychoanalytic approach where you say that a girl is like without something, although the reality is that masculinity, here, let's just go to the next one. There we go. I'm going to turn the oven on. That's totally different than femininity. Everybody is raised by a female, and they understand femininity, but then for a lot of different reasons, a young boy ends up with a that's more than enough, with a father or mother, and learns about masculinity, and there you get somebody who is returning, and they let the female be more like in charge of the house and all that. But then also, I'm gonna put coconut in here. But the guys, that's very different, because you still have, I mean, basically females are in charge of everything, but then if a guy, he's been slaving away all day, and you're like, what are you gonna do for this guy? The least you can do is give him some recognition or something. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to like rationalize this from psychology point of view, when the reality is that a female spends a lot of time raising a child. Look, that's an unavoidable fact. That's more than enough. And yeah, they'll go to work and all that, okay? But there's some basic facts about males that are granted to them, and that is basically all that she wrote. I mean, if somebody's looking to raise a child, I don't know. I mean, do you really think that you can do it without like civics? Like, is this something that you think you can raise a child and make it have good character and everything completely removed from the world? So you have to have the father involved in some sense, and I don't really want to compare it to like cavemen days, but this is kind of like the class that I'm in, and in primitive societies all over the world still, you really want to have kids who can help you, and it used to be like you would try to have like 100 wives too, because they can all cook and they can work the fields, and the more you had, the better. Nowadays, there's really not like as much for everybody to be doing, and so it really comes down to giving the children something that isn't just their biology. You also have to think about the kind of play. That's why, here we go, full circle or whatever. But I really want to just say that it's all about conversation with the kids. In all the research that I've done, I wish, but unfortunately I still have to flatten this out, and that always takes forever. In all the research that I've unfortunately done about children, and because there's a lot of it, you're like, really, you got to go through all those books? And nobody just says the difference between masculine and feminine because it's so controversial nowadays. I mean, let the guy be the manager or something, and the girls, that's the basic difference between femininity and masculinity, is that one of them recognizes that life is fleeting and that it doesn't really matter who it takes the achievement and the recognition. Okay, that would be the worst bite ever. Just gonna, I mean, those dried cherries are old. So yeah, boys learn that if you just save face, then you are going to have great recognition, right? And everybody's like, wow, okay. And man, this is, I don't know if you can see this. This is like incredible looking. I don't know how this is gonna come out, but the trick here is you leave it on the counter. Just let it harden, or whatever you want to call it. You let it dry. I mean, do you think you're going to be able to flatten this out? I don't really need so many of these in here. Yeah, there's a lot of facts about raising kids. If kids wouldn't read a book about children, although there are basically children raising children, and it's not as though they're running to the library to look at the thousands of books written about this topic. So, I mean, basically when you see these people talking about gender and all that, they're just talking about kids. I mean, this is basic civics. This is, once you can get over the fact that like girls are better at caring and guys are better at like doing stuff or something, doing this and that, and it's just facts. It's just facts on facts. So that's why you get this framework to understand. Everybody knows that biology is true. There's definitely psychological stages and civic stages and plenty to learn. So I took it out for a minute because this is the classic question: is it going to be too brown, or I mean, because that's what you wanted. It's like the perfect kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say a little bit longer. So this is the classic situation. Happens every time that you do this. You say, oh, I'm gonna, and then it's like, oh no, it looks so much. Yeah, okay, give me a break. You know that this is coming, right? I mean, okay, we got this. Wow, I'm so clever. Okay, and then sort of see what occurs. There it is, sort of sitting there, and it isn't doing much, but it will be chopped it up in a little vial, and then people will enjoy it. Here they are, looking really great. Although, no, I mean, no criticisms. However, the what do you call them? There could be something to be saying about the texture will be more on the cookie, kind of candied situation, and at the moment it's obviously, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit less like a crispy marshmallow, more on the, like a, whatever you call it, whatever a marshmallow is,